Since the special episode celebrating the 30th anniversary of the Power Rangers franchise will be released soon, I'm going to share with you the story of the three main characters. In this episode we will see the Rangers Billy, Zack, Rocky and Kat, plus we will also see the villain Rita Repulsa in her robot form, Alpha 9 and Trini's daughter. Despite this, the main characters of this episode are Billy, Zack and Rita. That's why I'm going to show you the story of each of these characters. William Billy Cranston, or better known as the Blue Ranger in Mighty Morphin Power Ranger, is one of the most beloved characters in the entire saga and the entire franchise. This character clearly represents all those people who are intelligent and studious, but a bit withdrawn and unsociable. The evolution that this character had was one of the greatest in the whole saga, and the change that he gave when he transformed with the morph was greater than that of any ranger, since when he was not in the morph, he was a person who was not very good at fighting, besides wanting to seek to resolve conflicts in a more intelligent way without having to reach violence. Although 30 years have passed since his first appearances, the fans still remember him in a very special way, since in every event that this character has appeared, the fans acclaim him. Billy is so smart that he helped Alpha repair many things in the command center, a more advanced technology, and yet Billy could still work with it. In addition, he also created the communicators for all the Power Rangers of his season and helped create technologies that they would later use. When Zordon chose him to be the Blue Ranger, he gave him the Triceratop coin, which controlled Triceratop Dinosaur. The helmet of his suit has been one of the most emblematic of the series, in addition to his weapon, which is a power spear that can be used together as a single spear or split into two parts. This spear has at the end of each side 3 points like a small trident, and when attached to the power blaster also launches energy beams. At first Billy was very shy and avoided trouble, so he was bullied a lot, and Trini the Yellow Ranger defended him all the time. Then Jason taught him to fight and defend himself, and little by little he became a stronger and less shy character. Even so, since he was a child, he had a phobia of fish, and Rita took advantage of this and created a monster in the shape of a fish. That monster had hurt the other Rangers except Billy, and in addition to his phobia of fish, Rita had put a spell on him to exaggerate his fear even more. So that day Billy had to overcome Rita's spell and overcome his fear of fish and defeat the monster to save the other Rangers. Each Ranger had his special ability, and Billy's was to invent things, and one of his most important inventions was the Rad Bug, which was a car that could go from 0 to 3,000 miles per hour in just 3 seconds. This car allowed the Rangers to transport themselves to the command center when the communicators were damaged. After many battles with Rita and Lord Zed, and having passed from the Thunderzords, Billy along with the other Rangers go in search of Ninja for the new power. Ninja turned them into the Ninja Rangers, and Billy received the Ninja Zord Wolf. This Zord has been one of the most iconic of the whole franchise. After a while and many battles, Lord Zed, Rita and Golder managed to steal the ninja coins and destroyed them. With the coins destroyed, Billy decided to retire as a ranger and dedicate himself to only serve as an advisor. In the time of the Zeo Rangers, Billy helped them on several occasions with different technologies, and although it was thought that he was the Golden Ranger, he confessed that it was not really him. Despite this, the other Rangers wanted him to be the replacement for Trey, the original Golden Ranger, but Billy had to give up that role to Jason since due to the explosion of the command center, he had negative proton energy, and this prevented him from using the transformation. After this, Billy went to Aquitar to stop his aging and fell in love with a woman from that planet. Billy has also been seen in other episodes that have featured the entire Mighty Morphin team, such as the legendary battle and when Jason gathered his team to defeat Golder Maximus. Now we have his appearance in the 30th anniversary of the franchise. Zachary Taylor, or better known as Zack, is the first Black Ranger of the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, and we are not talking about the color of his skin, but the color of his costume. Personally, this is my favorite Ranger of all time, so for me it is an honor to introduce you to his story. Zack was the second in command in the Mighty Morphin after Jason the Red Ranger, all this, until Tommy Oliver arrived as the White Ranger, which Zordon put as leader, and Jason became the second in command. Zack's animal is the Mastodon, and his weapon is a very powerful axe that becomes a type of energy cannon, which is the beginning of the combination of all the Rangers' weapons to form the Power Blaster. In the comics, Zack has also been the Pink Ranger, the Green Ranger, and the Black Omega Ranger. Speaking of his personal life, Zack was a young man with some problems at home, but was still quiet and joking. Although he was very hesitant to have friends at first, he met Jason and the other Rangers at Angel Grove and gradually developed more. He is a young man who likes holidays like Halloween, although he is afraid of spiders and snakes. Zack likes to dance a lot, and what he did was to combine dancing with martial arts and invented a fighting style called hip-hop Kido, which he also teaches to others. He spends most of his time practicing martial arts with Jason and Tommy, as well as teaching dance to other students. When the war between Rita and Zordon started again after Rita escaped from her confinement, Zordon chose 5 young men to be the Power Rangers, and one of those was Zack, who at first was not sure if he could be a Ranger because he was an insecure young man at the beginning of his life due to the problems he had at home. Then he decided to commit to being a Ranger and accepted the mission to save the planet. With this he becomes the Black Ranger of the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers with the Mastodon Power Coin, which controls the Mastodon Dinozord. In the comics, during a mission, Zack controls the Megazord and they defeat Rita's monster while Jason helps from the ground. At the end of the battle, everyone celebrates Jason's performance, but not Zack's, and therefore he feels a bit of jealousy within himself. Rita takes advantage of this jealousy and chooses him to be the first Green Ranger, since at this point Tommy had not yet appeared. When Rita makes the offer to Zack, he was tempted, but he rejected Rita and tried to steal the Green Ranger's power coin, but failed. Then Zack confessed everything to Zordon, and this story stayed between them and no other Ranger knew about it. Because of this whole event, when Tommy joined the team as the Green Ranger, Zack questioned Tommy's loyalty many times and if Rita could still control him. This is why, at first, they have several confrontations, but then they begin to trust each other little by little. Later, when Lord Zed arrives and destroys the Zords, Zordon gave the Rangers the new Thunderzords and Zack had control of the Lion Thunderzord. Zack's last mission with the mighty Morphin Power Rangers was to find the light sword, which is used to transfer powers from one ranger to another when their powers come from one of the 5 power coins. The 6th coin has no connection to this sword. This mission was because Zack, Jason and Trini would travel to Switzerland and had to transfer their powers to other young people, and Zack managed to transfer his powers to Adam, who would become the new Black Ranger and would be a very important and beloved character in the saga. Despite Zack having passed his powers to Adam, Zack has appeared as a Black Ranger in several seasons where fights have been given along with the mighty Morphin Power Rangers, as was the famous legendary battle, or the battle in which Jason summons his team to defeat Golder Maximus. Rita Repulsa, one of the biggest villains of the Power Rangers who fought against Zordon to try to conquer the Earth, but who really is Rita? A sorceress daughter of the galactic warlord and sorcerer Master Vile, a feared conqueror of worlds. Rita never knew her mother, but she did know evil and dark magic. She made herself a scepter to channel all her evil power and make her more dangerous to do the same as her father, conquer worlds. She met Lord Zed and began to work for him, conquering the galaxy while gaining fame for her destruction of worlds. Rita was such a powerful villain that she began to create an army that helped her in her conquests until she met Zordon of Elter. If you want to know who Zordon was, you can watch our video with all the history of this powerful character. He started a war against Zordon that would last more than 2,000 years, in which they had legendary battles where both lost part of their armies. Between all this war, Lord Zed sends Rita to conquer the Earth, and she establishes her headquarters of evil on the moon, and Zordon established his on Earth to fight against Rita. In that period, Zordon finds 5 coins of power and Rita found 1 additional coin, the 6th coin, which would give life to the Green Ranger that would help her in the battle to destroy the Power Rangers that Zordon would create with those 5 coins. Before the Green Ranger and Zordon created the Power Rangers, Rita and Zordon were still in their war. Rita started to lose the battle, so she decides to form a plan and tells Zordon she wants to make a peace pact. Her real plan was to get Zordon to let his guard down and trap him in a time warp. But Zordon was prepared and locked her in a space junk capsule, sending the capsule to wander through space for eternity. After 10,000 years, some astronauts found the capsule and removed the seal by mistake, leaving the evil villainess free, who quickly went to the moon to her headquarters, which was abandoned. She managed to gather several of her servants who would help her again to conquer the Earth, and that is when she sent Golder to destroy the Earth. But she was surprised to find that Zordon had created the Power Rangers, who defeated Golder and all the monsters that Rita sent. After so many defeats, Rita remembered that she still had the 6th power coin, and with it she created the Green Ranger, an evil ranger destined to destroy the Power Rangers. After many battles, the Power Rangers managed to break Rita's spell on the Green Ranger and turned him to the good side, making him part of the team. After this, Lord Zed was so displeased with Rita's inability to conquer the Earth that he re-imprisoned her in another garbage capsule and started the war against Zordon himself. In less than a year, Rita managed to escape and return to the moon with the help of Finster, who restored her to her normal size. helped her create a passion of love to conquer Lord Zed and convince him to marry her so they could both fight against Zordon. At first it was a sham and she only did it to overthrow Lord Zed, but in time she would abandon this idea and truly love him. After many defeats, Rita's father, Master Vile, arrived on the moon and helped his daughter turn the Rangers into children. At that moment, Rita and Zed took the opportunity to bomb Zordon's headquarters and steal the Zeo crystal. Rita sent her brother Rito Revolto along with Golder on this mission. They managed to plant the bomb, but lost the Zeo crystal. Zordon, Alpha, and the Power Rangers managed to survive in a fortified power chamber beneath the earth and eventually found the Zeo crystals in the rubble. Some time later, Rita and Zed were overthrown by the Empire of the Machines and decided never to face the Rangers again and advised Divatox to do the same. Even so, Rita and Zed joined Dark Spectre to give a final blow to the forces of good throughout the galaxy. At that moment, they met again with Divatox, who had defeated the Turbo Rangers and was full of ego for that. With this, Rita regained the confidence that the Power Rangers could be defeated, so she and Zed worked together to catch the Gold Ranger, but at that moment, the wave of power caused by the sacrifice of Zordon made Rita and Zed to be transformed into good people. After several years, Rita regained her powers, but this time she used them for good and was called the Mystical Mother, appearing in Power Rangers Mystical Force.